All right, so last week we were learning about functions, and I think Jemima just raised her hand. So, hi Jemima.
Yes, hello.
Hi. You here to answer, ask or answer a question?
We are just going to say that we learn about functions and dictionaries.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. All right. Yeah, so we're learning about functions and dictionaries, and today we are just going to finish our work on functions. So I need you guys to actually open the REPL we had open last week. So I'll just share my screen. So you log into rippleit.com. I'll just link this in chat again. Cool. So just go there, log in, and then under your REPLs, just open whatever you were using last week. I called mine Advanced Python Week 4 class. All right. And I think the last thing I was trying to teach you guys about was we are using the same, Daniel just asked, are we using the same REPL as last time or a new one? We're using the same for now. We'll be using a new one later. Cool. All right. So just open this one. And I was trying to show you guys that the concept of scope. So variable scope is like the idea of like where variables can be accessed from. So I think last time I was trying to show you guys, you can access global variables from inside a function, but you can't like use like variables that were created inside of a function definition outside. So that's what I was trying to do here with print A. So print A, I created local var1, local var1 is 50. And then I tried to print it outside of the function definition. And if I run this, this will not work. See, it says local var1 not defined, even though it's defined up here because it's defined inside of this function definition, you can't use it outside. So yeah, that is a local variable. However, a global variable, you can any variable like defined outside of a function, you can also use in the function. Like for example, if I just get rid of this line and this line, a equals 100 is a global variable because it's defined outside of the function. And print A will print the value of A down here. And as you can see, it prints like 100. So yeah, you can use global variables inside functions. You can't use function local variables outside of them. So that's the basic idea of scope, like where you can use variables and where they are defined. Yep. And the last thing I wanted to show you about function variable like scope was, so you can actually, so it's possible to give like a function argument like this or parameter the same name as a global variable. Like if I then say redefine this function to give it a parameter called a, like so it takes like one argument now. And then I still have this global variable a equals 100 here, but then I give it a value. So I say like 101. So can anyone tell me what print A is going to print now? Just raise your hands if you have the answer. Jemima?
101.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it will print 101 because so when a global variable and like a parameter have like the same name, the local variable like not the parameter takes precedence. So if you have a global variable named A and it also has a parameter named A, this is the parameter is what will get used. So yeah, I'd recommend not naming your global variables and like parameters the same. Otherwise it can get confusing as to which one it will use, but that's how that works. Okay. Aiden just mentioned that they still have some syntax errors. That usually just means you typed something wrong. If you copied this exactly, it should like work, but anyway, we're getting to like the end of this lesson on functions anyway. We'll move to a new topic soon and we'll have a new REPL, so that shouldn't really be a problem. I'm just trying to show you how like variable scope works for functions. So yeah, I think that is all I wanted to teach you guys about functions and variable scope. And yeah. Okay. The last thing I wanted to show you guys about like functions is that, from our lesson on dictionaries, where we counted like colors from a list and turned it into a dictionary. You can make that like you can turn that into a function that actually takes a dictionary as input. I'll just really quickly show you how that works, and then we'll move on to a new topic. Yeah, you don't need to copy this one, but basically, yeah. So from the color counting one, I created like define count colors, which takes in a color, like a list of colors, and then creates a dictionary. It has like exactly the same like logic, and you can just call it like this and give it a pass in a list. And yeah, so this allows you to like write blocks of code like that once and then use them multiple times by calling them wherever. Yeah, I can run this one. So the result of this will be a dictionary with like red one, green one, red two, green one, blue one, which is what you get here. But yeah, so in conclusion, yeah, functions are great if you need to like have a block of code that you can like call upon to do something like repeatedly. You only really want to write the functionality once, and then you can call it whenever you need it. You can sort of pass it arguments and it will do the same thing, same process to the arguments every time. Yeah. Anyway. All right, I think it's time for a new topic. So this week we'll mainly be doing, this is week 5, we'll be learning about modules. So for this one, we'll make a new REPL. So I'll just make a new one. Create Python REPL, call this week 5 class. Okay, so this lesson I'll mainly be teaching you guys about modules. Yeah. Has anyone used modules in Python before or want to tell the class about what modules are? No, no one? Okay, cool. Yeah, so modules are basically like code libraries that you can like use in your code. So Python has a lot of built-in functions and things, but you can also like import like other code libraries to use. So there are modules that already exist that you can import. And there are like libraries that you can actually download off of like sort of module like repositories. Or you can actually create your own modules as well. It's a kind of just importable sort of extensions to code. I'll just show you how this works. So if you want to import like a built-in module like math, so math is like a built-in module for math operations, and you can import this using imports go at the top of your Python file. So just type in, say, import math. And the good thing about modules is that you can usually Google like what Python modules have in them. So you Google like Python and math library, whatever, and then you'll see docs.python.org is like the official documentation for Python, and it shows like every single function you can find in this particular module. So they have stuff for, I don't know, factorial, floor, sum, remainder, exponentials, and so forth. Square root. So if you want to use one of these functions, you can actually, so the way you use a function inside from the math module is you do math dot and then the name of the function. So math dot square root will give you a square root function, and then you give it an argument that you want to find the square root of. Before, let's print out the results so you can see. So run this, and the result of math.square root 4 is 2 or 2.0, like a decimal number. But yeah, so that's like the math module. You can use any of these like functions, like you can find like the sine and cosine and lots of things. You can, there's like math.pi, which gives you back pi. So, is 3.1, let's round it off. All right, does anyone have any questions so far? Good with the math module? Okay, no questions about the math module? Oh, I think someone has a question. Hi, Vanch.
For my one, it's showing when I write square 4, it's saying it's got a red line showing trace back most recent call last.
Okay, what's the bottom of the error trace say?
Pardon?
Oh, what does the bottom of the error trace say?
It says, is it where the file main pipe.py area?
Yeah. What is like the last part of the error message there?
Name error, name square root is not defined.
So you imported math up here. Did you also spell square root correctly? It's like SQRT. Just
yeah, I did.
Okay. And you definitely have the import here. You didn't spell math incorrectly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can have a look if you stop my screen share and you can share yours. Just 1 second. All right. Okay, Vance, try sharing your screen now. It's loading. It's a bit slow.
I think you should be able to see it now.
Okay. It's math dot square root. You wrote like math comma square root.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That should work now.
Yes, that's working.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. All right. Yep, so just to remind you guys, yeah, import, the syntax is import and the name of the module, and to use stuff from the module, you do like the module name dot, and then whatever function or variable you're using from inside it. All right, the second way we can import modules is you can actually use stuff like, you can import individual functions from modules. So not just, so instead of importing the whole library and being able to use any function from it, you can just use one of them. So for example, there's a library called random, which you can use to generate random numbers. And you can just import one function from it called randint. So I'll just do that. So the conventionally imports will go at the top of your file. And I'll just use from random import randint. I'll just open the module page on this. Random hyphen the docs for the random function. And if you scroll down, you have, I should probably make my text a bit larger so you can see better. This one returns a random integer between like the range of the two numbers you give it. So, oh, and if you're importing functions this way, you don't use random.randint. You use just randint. So if you import stuff like this and just use the function without the sort of dot notation like this. So randint. So if you want a number between 1 and 10, you just use that. Let's print this out, and it should give us a different number when we run it multiple times. So 9, 10, 9, 5, 5. Yeah, so basically it's giving us a random number between 1 and 10. Yeah, that's how you use imports of like individual functions. Yeah, I think we have some questions. All right. Hi, Jerry, what's your question?
For the math square root 4, my one doesn't work.
Okay.
It just says no such file main.py ripple process died unexpectedly exit status 2.
That's strange. Have you tried refreshing your page? It sounds like it might be a problem with your REPL rather than a problem with the code. Yeah, try refreshing your page. It doesn't sound like a code error.
It still doesn't work. I've refreshed it.
Okay, I guess I can look at your screen. Yeah. All right, try sharing your screen now, Jerry. Did you? Oh, I think you put the oh, your file name is wrong. Your file name should be main.py, not jerry.py. Just rename your file to like main.py. Yeah, just rename that file. Just yep,
Just
rename that.
rename.
Yep, call it main, M-I-A-N. Yep, 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 that will do. Yep.
And then like this. Oh no.
Yep. Just if you want to reopen your file, you have to click on it again.
Ah.
Yeah, now. Yeah, your main file in this REPL should always be called main.py. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I think Asal just asked me.
Mama, 你看.
Yeah. All right. Asal just asked, what does from random mean? It means from the like from the module called random, import the one function randint. You can just use import random, but I'll show you how you need to do it if you do that. If you just use import random, then you would need to, then that imports every function from random, and then you need to use the dot notation when you call it like this. So yeah, you can do that. But I'm just doing it the other way to show you guys how to use individual function imports. Okay, Rivan, you have a question?
I have a problem. It says invalid syntax.
Did you mistype something?
No.
You probably mistyped something somewhere. I can have a quick look at your screen, but just make sure your brackets are matching. Use a dot here, use commas here. Can you see any obvious mistakes before I look at your screen?
No.
Okay, I'll have a quick look at your screen now. I'm gonna stop sharing mine and all right. Come on, share your screen, please. Oh, you misspelled import. It should be IM, not IN. Yep. Import. Yep. Yep, that's correct. And you accidentally added an import port. So just get rid of that. Yep. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, cool. Also, don't forget, you're not supposed to have a space after print. But that still works, but yeah, not supposed to. Yep. All right, cool. Can you do the same? So I just asked, can you do the same thing with math? Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can import pi from math. I can just try this now, actually. Do from math import pi. So this should work, I think, with both functions and variables. If I just do this. And this will, I think, work the same. Yep. Yeah, that works exactly the same. So you can import both like variables and functions like this. All right, I think, and yeah, I think I can move on now. So yeah, that is the basics of importing using like from module import function syntax. And remember, if you import this way, don't use the module name to refer to it. All right, so I'm going to actually, next thing I'm going to show you is how to make your own modules. So basically, to make your own modules, you can think of every like separate file you make as being a new module. So I'm going to make a new file called dice.py. Someone just a moment ago accidentally made a project, renamed their main.py in their project to something else. I'm going to add another file, call it dice.py. Remember, you always need at least one file called main.py. This is your main file, but you can also use other files as well. You can't ever run anything directly from here, but you can write code in here. Oh, Vance, do you still have a question?
Yes, for me, it's just saying name error, name radiant is not defined.
Oh, did you misspell randant? It's R-A-N-D-I-N-T, randant?
Yeah, I spelled it correct.
So from random import randant. So you have this up here.
Oh, wait, is that the problem?
Yeah, you need to have this here. Otherwise, it doesn't know what random is until you import it.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. All right, so I just made a new file called dice.py. You can add a file on the left-hand side up here. I'm going to make a function. I'm going to call it, so our syntax for making functions, def or define. I'm going to make a dice rolling function. So I'll call it roll underscore d6 for like d6 meaning like a 6-sided dice. So brackets, colon, space, remember there's 2 spaces here. And I'll have it return. I'm actually going to use the random function to return a random number between 1 and 6. So I'll just use random 1 and 6. And remember, before it recognizes this, you actually need to import it. So just from random import randint. We're also practicing our import syntax. Yeah. And now you can't actually really run anything from here. So this is a new module called dice, but from main.py, you can actually import your function. So this is now a module called dice. So you can say from dice import roll d6. It should recognize that. Yep, that's changed to a yellow underline, so it does recognize that. And yeah, I can just print out the results now. Oh, whenever I print this out, it'll give me a random number between 1 and 6. So 1, 3, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's basically how you make a new module. So make another file. That file will be the name of your module. You can make a function. Yep. Write your code in here, and then import it in main and use it. I'll just stay on this page and answer some questions. Hi, Monique.
I figured out my question. I forgot to lower my head.
Oh, okay. Quentin?
When I added a new file and deleted all of the stuff, it just deleted everything on the other file too.
It deleted the other file as well.
Yeah, just deleted everything on both files.
Oh, that sucks. I'm not sure what happened there, whether it failed to save your other file. It definitely should be the plus add file, not rename. Maybe you had a bad internet connection and it failed to save your file at some point. Not sure why it did that. Yeah, I guess you'll just have to retype this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. $11.
It says trace back most recent call last file main.py line 7 in module print randint 110 name error name randint is not defined.
Did you import randint at the top? When it says like name randint isn't defined, it doesn't know what randint is, which usually means you didn't import it. Make sure you spelled it right as well.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, you need to import it before it knows what to do with it. Yep. I think Jemima just asked, how does it work with 2 files? So basically everything that is run will be run on main.py, but you can import stuff from other files. You can't really run these by themselves, but you could import stuff from them. So that's kind of how it works. So you're basically using the other files like modules to import into main and then use there. Do you still have a problem?
Is there a line of code that makes the computer wait a few seconds?
I think there is somewhere. Possibly. Do you need that?
Yeah, because I'm thinking of creating a simple game to test my coding skills. It says print. I have code print. Type in any number, and if you guess the correct number, then you win the game.
Okay, I'm sure I've seen like a basic wait function somewhere. I probably, yeah. I think it's called sleep. Using the time module, so I'll try using that now. If I do like from time import sleep, I think time is in seconds, so I'll just try using this now. So sleep for 1 second. As you can see, it waits for 1 second. So yeah, you can use sleep from the time module.
But it's okay. Yeah, it's working. Thank you.
Cool. All right, Jono, what's the question?
So I'll just share my screen. On my REPL, it says REPL process died unexpectedly. Exit status 2.
Did you accidentally rename your main.py file to something else, or did you delete it? You still need a main.py.
I named it to something else.
Oh, you should always like keep your main.py. You should keep that called main.py. So
Okay.
yeah, just keep this name the same. Like it won't function if you don't have main.py. Like, okay, I think someone wanted me to switch back to dice.py so I could try and see the code. Give you a few more seconds to copy this one down. So a couple more questions. All right, hi Aaron.
When I wrote the code in main.py, the folder, it didn't work.
Oh, okay. Is the error message giving you any clues?
It's only when I wrote print in brackets roll underscore D6 brackets and then close brackets. It didn't. When I pressed run, it came up with traceback most recent call last file main.py line 11 in module print roll underscore D6 brackets close bracket file home / runner / advanced pattern class week 5 dice.py comma line 4 in roll underscore D6.
Right. Is it a name error or is it a syntax error?
Not sure.
What's the last line of the error message? Did you import D6 from this? Do you have this line?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Do you know what type of error it says it is? Is it a name error or is it a syntax error?
For the last time it says type error, random, missing one required positional argument. B.
Oh, when you defined D6, did you like, so positional arguments are like, you know, the arguments that you put in your functions like this. But this should have no required positional arguments. Did you mistype this and give it arguments? Because we shouldn't have any arguments here. Oh, actually, is it if it's in random, then did you forget to put numbers in here?
I put 1 to 6.
1,6 should be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's missing required positional arguments, it means it's expecting you to give it some arguments, but you didn't give it any arguments.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ravon?
It says trace back most recent call last file main fly in line 3 in module from dice import roll d6 file home / runner / dice pie line 4 return random 1 6 indicates an area unexpected an indented block.
Okay, do you have, so it says if it's unexpected indented block or unindented block, then it means you don't have the right indent. So remember underneath each function definition, just like every if statement and every for loop, you need like the spaces. 2 spaces. Do you have your spaces? You have the right number of spaces on line 4 before return?
How many?
2.
It works now.
Yeah,
Except it says function roll d6 at 0 times 7 FB 4 AC 060 A60.
what does it say?
Function roll d6 at 0 times 7 FB 4 AC 060 A.
Oh, did you forget the brackets after the function? Like to make it a function call, like you need to actually do like the name of the function and then the 2 brackets here. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happens if I just do this. Okay, I think you forgot the brackets because I can only get this result if I don't use the, if I add the brackets back to make it a function call. So basically what it's doing is like so if I remove the brackets, it's printing out like, you know, the function object. Like it's like, oh, you're giving it a function. If I add the brackets back in, it's a function call and it will give me the result of calling that function. So instead of that, it'll give me the number. Just make sure that in main.py you have your brackets.
It still doesn't work.
Does it still print out like the function?
Now it says name error, name random is not defined.
Did you have the import from random import random?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have it in dice.py as well? Because for this
Yeah.
to work, you also need that.
Yeah.
You're still getting a name error in main or in dice?
It doesn't say. It only says name random is not defined.
Okay, I can have a quick look at your screen. All right, try sharing your screen. Oh, you misspelled random, so it's R-A-N-D, like, yeah, I-N-T. So you misspelled random on line 4, like the last line. No, not there. No, it's supposed to be rand int. So you had it spelled right the first time on line 1. You just need to also spell it right on line 4. No, not in dice.py still. Yep, that is misspelled. Yep. Should be correct now. Yep. Yeah, it looks to be working now. All right. Okay, I think I will move on now. So that is basically, yep, how you make your own module. So you just need another file, and then you can import anything, any function or variable you make in here into your main module here. Oh yeah, and I think someone already asked this, but yes, you can import global variables from modules as well. Just like pi from math is like a variable, not a function. Oh yeah, another feature of the import system is that you can actually like import something as another name, so you can sort of rename functions from different modules. You can call modules by different names as well. Try not to use this too much because it can get a bit confusing, but if you see this in other people's code, it just means they've renamed the function. So you can, I'll show you very quickly how this one works. If I use from dice import roll d6 as roll dice, I've effectively renamed it, and then I can just use roll dice here. So from module dice, import function roll d6 as roll dice. So that means I am now calling this roll dice. And if I just change that, it should do exactly the same thing. And similarly, you can like rename whole like modules as well, like that. But yeah, if you use that too much, your code can get a bit confusing. I think some people have some questions. All right. Hi, Carlos.
So when I try to run it, it says trace back most recent call loss from main pi line 3 in module from dice import roll d6 from home/runner/l4/dice pi line 5 def roll d6 syntax error invalid syntax.
Did you mistype the so do you have like the brackets here, the colon here? Like, do you have any? Sometimes it also underlines stuff in red underlines if you've done it wrong. But yeah, you need these brackets. You need this colon.
Oh, I'm talking about an error in the main pi.
But I heard that in your error message that they were also talking about dice, because sometimes if you made an error in your module, it will mention the module name and then say give you a line number from that module. So it mentioned line 5 from dice.pi, so it might have been a problem inside there. But yeah, just check. So if you have def roll d6 on line 5, have you written that correctly?
Wait a minute. Oh, I misspelled roll.
Okay, good, you found that out.
Wait a minute. It still has an error.
Yeah, I can take a quick look at your screen.
Okay.
But yeah, try sharing your screen now. Yeah, reading errors is like a skill. It's like, yeah. If you notice, like unlike in Scratch, you can actually make errors in this type. Oh, you have a space between roll and d6. So instead of writing an underscore, you've done it like a space. Yeah. Also, don't import roll d6 in this file because, yeah, get rid of line 3. You shouldn't have this here because like this is like where you define roll d6. You import it from main, like in main from here. Yep. Yep. That's right.
Thanks.
Now. Cool.
Yep.
Right. Right, you may notice that, like, yeah, unlike in Scratch, where you literally cannot make syntax errors, like in Python, you can make syntax errors. And if you don't type everything exactly right, it will complain and you'll get errors. Even very experienced programmers like get errors a lot. We are just better at reading them and working out what they mean. So yeah, don't be scared of error messages. Try and look at the bottom of the error message for the error type and what line it says it's on. That's like the most useful information. Yeah, that like the name, like the type of error, whether it's a syntax error or a name error or whatever. And then also what file it's in and what line it's in. I think that's usually the most useful information. But yeah, don't be scared of errors, just yeah. But it is a very useful skill as a programmer to be able to figure out how to read your error messages and work out what went wrong from being able to read them. Joanna just asked me, how long have I been coding for? I think I've learned Python around in high school, I think, around like year 10 or so. And yeah, and then I went to university for computer science, and I use Python in my job as well. So yeah, several years now. Right, I think I have another question. But yeah, I think we're spending a lot of time on questions at the moment. So I'll just take a look at what else I was planning to teach. So that should be basically everything on imports. If someone still needs to look at dice.py. But yeah, before the end of this lesson, I want to go over how to use user input. So, you know, like in Scratch, you have like the ask blocks. We have a function that does a similar thing in Python that you can use to get like user input and have a user sort of type in something. Hello, do you still have a problem?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said that you could rename a function. So I typed import print as my name. So my name's Tarek, so it would show up as Tarek. And I wrote print, and it said built-in function print. Then I realized that it's meant to be Tarek. So I wrote my name, and then all these letters and random letters and numbers and characters showed up on my screen. Can I share my screen?
I suppose I've never tried to rename the print function because print isn't usually something you have to import because print is a built-in function that is already there that you. But sure, I guess I'll see if I can actually recreate it. So if I don't know, import like my name, I wonder what this does actually. This will probably do something weird. I think it's installing print.
When I pressed stop, it said you can't stop the package, and then I had to reload the page.
Yeah, I think this will do something weird. I would not do that. Importing a built-in function is
And
strange.
also, I have another question. I accidentally deleted all my files. How do you get them back? Can you get them back?
If you deleted all your files, I don't know if you can restore them. I don't really know if REPL lets you do that. Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't know. You might just need to start again. Like if you have, it's, yeah, I know how to get to like old projects, but I don't know if you can fix it if you've deleted all your files. I think have done something weird. It's tried to install a module called print. Now it's trying to like, okay, now it's fine again. That took a while. So yeah, I don't recommend trying to import built-in stuff or importing, like I don't think print is a module, like Python print module. Yeah, Python isn't like, yeah, that's not a module, it's like a function that's like a built-in function. So if you try and import Python, like import print, I think it will try to like, it will try and install like an external module called like print, and I don't think it can find it, which is why it does all that. So yeah. Interesting tangent, yeah. There are a lot of like external modules as well that aren't like built in, that like Python will have to install. And that's what you saw on the console there, where it's like, you know, trying to like poetry add is like it trying to install an external module, which is kind of a lengthy process sometimes, and it can get a bit complicated. Stuff like math and time is already installed, so the installer won't try and install it from outside. Levi?
Yeah, that's you.
I have an import error, and I have like a file main.py error.
You have an import, so you have an error.
Yeah, and I can't fix it.
Okay. All right, I can have a look at the screen for a bit. All right, try sharing your screen. Okay, just open your browser. Yeah, just open your browser. I can only see your desktop at the moment.
Okay, how do I open my browser?
Where you move it to that screen? You can only see one screen.
Yeah, the Chrome. Okay.
Sharing screen.
Yeah. Okay. What is? Oh, okay. You know how I told you to make a new file called dice.py?
Pardon?
So you know, I told you to make a new file called dice.py. There's like there should be two files in your file listing. One is called like dice, and one just could be called main.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can't import from dice unless it's like it's in a new file. Oh no, keep your browser open. Just
Back there so you can see it. So approved.
yeah, and just like you know, near the word files on the left side of your screen. Files, the left side of your screen. At the very left side of your screen, there is like a section called like files and packager files. Just like press the plus sign where it says like add a file. Make a new file called dice.py, dice.py. Yep, py. Yep, that one. Yep, and now put your like roll d6 function inside there. So like literally go back to main and then like go back to main.py and then sort of cut and paste your function and put it in there instead. Yeah, but if you need to review this lecture later on, there's like, yeah, you can just watch the recording later and follow along at your own pace. But yeah, that's
Thanks.
Yeah. Right, I think I have one small thing to show you, which is basically how to use user input. So this is like after the section of modules, I'll show you how user input works. So there was a function which is similar to the idea of like ask in Scratch called input. So I'll just put this in main. So for the most basic uses of this called, we have a function called input. And then you give it like the question you want to ask. Add a space here for prettiness. And then you can assign the answer to like a variable called whatever you like. I'll call my variable answer. And then you can have it. And then the value of answer is going to be whatever the user actually answers in the console. I'll show you how this works. And then I'll just sort of print the result. I'll say, if you remember, this is like how you use like string replacement. So this will be replaced with whatever the answer is. So I'll just run this. This will ask you your name. I'll type in my name here. And this is in the console here. Yep, and then it just printed out whatever I gave it. And it'll print it. It'll greet you with whatever you give it. So, okay. Oh yeah, that is the basics of user inputs. And we're gonna have about 4 minutes left, so I'll just answer some questions. Okay, hi Kahan. I can't really hear you. It's very echoey. I find it very difficult to hear. I'm sorry. Still can't really hear anything. Sorry, maybe I'll answer someone else's question first. Right. Hi, Jono. Oops, we're gone. Nope. Okay. Hi, Jono, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that for a while I've been programming game. For like, I spent about an hour of time on it. So can I show you it?
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, try now.
Okay. So it's a quiz and there's quite a bit of code. And if I just click run,
Mhm.
it says, are you ready to start the quiz? And then you say, yes. It's got, what is the color of the sky? Blue. Correct. What is my favorite color, which is orange? Correct.
Nice.
And then I got all the questions correct. And then it says I got all of them right by, which I
Cool.
spent a while doing.
It actually says you got like 66.66% of them right, which is
I probably accidentally clicked on the wrong button. But okay.
all right, well done though. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, it's a very nice showcase of how to use input along with if statements to make a little quiz. So I was going to like make, for our next lesson, I'm going to make something not quite like a quiz, more like a text, very small text adventure to show how you can use input. But yeah, well done. Maybe I'll answer one more question. 11.
Oh, I just forgot to put down.
Okay. All right, never mind then. Okay, well, since we only have 1 more minute left, I think I'll just summarize what you've learned. But basically, we've learned how module imports work. You can use import module name at the top of your file to import stuff from modules. You can also use like from module import function or variable name. We use the math and the random modules. And I just showed you a second ago how to use the input function to get user input from the console. Yeah, hope you guys all had fun and I'll see you guys next week.